why did you feel it necessary to putting in the evidence in this case a negative review of your daughter's business?
Because I wanted you guys to see the business she's running. That's why.
That's the same question I'm asking your daughter. If you have this bad blood between you, how can we rely on what either of you say? How do we know it's the truth?
That's true.
I have nothing further. Just to order.
Nana, you can sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you. In your answer, Ms. Eastman, you said, I did not want any special favors that could cause additional issues between us.
Yes.
But then later in your answer, you say, I reminded Melissa that she had loaned the car to me as a favor.
Which she did, Your Honor.
How do you remind her of something you said you didn't want in the first place?
You know, I thought because I needed a vehicle at the time, you know, Your Honor. But, you know, it was the biggest mistake. It was the biggest mistake.
I don't think that this ever was just a favor in the beginning, as you stated, because you were afraid to even ask for the rental. You had to have your mom on the phone. And then to later then say, I had to remind her that this was a favor.
Yes.
It calls into question your credibility with me.
Okay.
Do you believe you owe her money today?
I don't believe I do.
You do not?
No.
Even though throughout your text messages, you're saying to her, I will pay you.
Yeah.
Now you've changed your mind because why?
Well, like I said, because of all the harassment.
You know that's not a defense, right?
No. Yeah, it's true, Your Honor.
I'm going to open it up to my colleagues.
Yeah, you said you gave it back on the 18th. Turn to page 8. This is the 21st. Just let me know when you want the car back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember I gave it to her back on the 18th.
But then how could you be texting on the 21st saying, let me know when you want the car back if you didn't have it anymore?
Okay, yeah.
Your memory must be faulty.
It is.
Okay. All right, so then we got to go by the evidence we have,
Okay.
which suggested that you kept it until at least the 28th. Is that right?
Yes, that's when I picked it up. And she didn't even have the audacity to meet me in person and give me the keys in my hand. She left them under the car. My uncle was outside.
So let me ask you this. You said at some point you decided there was going to be a $50 a day late fee.
That's how much I charged for late fee. I felt very disrespected.
When were they told about that there was a $50 a day late fee?
Initially, our first conversation when they called.
The very first conversation?
Yes.
You said there's a $50 a day late fee?
Yes.
And that's for late payments, not for late return of the vehicle?
Late, I guess for both.
Okay. Normally you collect payment up front, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you collect it for the duration of the anticipated rental.
Yes.
So there can't be late fees on payment, right? Because you've already got the payment.
Yeah.
This seems like something you came up with because she wasn't paying you and you clearly were...
Oh, it seems that way and I understand, but no, I do charge $50 if you don't return the car or if you're
Right, if you don't return the car, but you don't have a $50, but you don't have late payments because you, in every other instance, you collect the money up front, right?
Not the full balance. They still owed me money.
Okay, and so you charge $50 a day if there's an unpaid balance.
Or for not returning the vehicle, yes.
Or for not returning the vehicle,
Yes.
okay. All right.
All right, we're going to excuse the parties while we deliberate this matter. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
This courtroom is now in recess, so you can...
Well, I think, Michael, you were right on the money. This is about so much more than this car on both sides. I think it's very clear from the text messages that there was an agreement to pay.
Yeah.
There's no disagreement in all of these text messages that there's an agreement that she owed an additional $250. I think this $50 in late fees is bogus.
It's more than the actual rental.
It's more than the actual rental, but it's also, it's fabricated because she usually collects money up front.
It's punitive.
Nonetheless, I think she's entitled to her $250, and that's about it.
I agree.
Well, I didn't find the defendant credible.
No.
She contradicted herself in her own answer, where she claimed at one point this was simply a favor, and then said in another part of her answer that I wanted no favors.
Right.
So anyways, I agree with the both of you that the plaintiff is entitled to her full amount. Actually, no, not her full amount, because, of course, the bulk of that would be the late fees. So, yeah, she's entitled to her $250.
All right, so we agree.
You have a verdict.
Excellent.